After inheriting my father's estate, I've stopped providing financial support to my family. Now they're suing me. I, 25M, recently inherited all of my father's assets, including property and money, as I was the sole beneficiary in his will. I'm an only child, and my mother tragically passed away in a car accident when I was about 6 years old. For the majority of my life, my father raised me on his own without any assistance. He was truly the best dad anyone could ask for. He worked long hours, juggling 2 jobs to support us, but he never let me see the toll it took on him. Despite his struggles, he always found time to take me to fun places, buy me little things, and just be the father every kid wishes for. While it was just the 2 of us in our immediate family, we had a large extended family on my mom's side. My father's side of the family was small, just 1 uncle and an aunt, but on my mom's side, I had multiple aunts, uncles, and cousins. When I was 14, my father's relatives constantly hounded him for money to the point where he had to take on a 3rd job, working night shifts to keep up with their demands and support me. It broke my heart to see him work so hard, and the financial pressure from our relatives only made his life harder. I remember one night when I was about 16, I overheard my dad on the phone with my uncle. He was practically begging him to stop asking for money. My uncle had just demanded a huge sum to cover some gambling debt, and my dad, exhausted from working 3 jobs, simply didn't have it to give. But my uncle threatened to cut all ties with us if my dad didn't help. I could hear the strain in my father's voice as he pleaded, trying to keep our fractured family somewhat together. That was when I started to really resent my extended family. They weren't just asking for money, they were draining my father's life. It wasn't long after that my dad collapsed from exhaustion one night after coming home from his 3rd job. He was rushed to the hospital, and doctors said it was a heart attack caused by years of stress and overwork. I sat there in the waiting room, furious at my uncle and the rest of them for pushing him to this point. He survived, but he was never quite the same after that. He had to quit 2 of his jobs, and our finances took a hit. Still, even after everything, they continued to ask for money. When I turned 18, I decided to confront my relatives. I told them to leave us alone, but they laughed it off, saying my dad would always come through for them. They didn't care about him, they only saw him as a bank. When my father passed away 2 years ago, I was devastated. But what followed was even worse. The day after his funeral, my relatives started calling me asking for their share of his estate. They assumed they were entitled to something, despite never having lifted a finger to help us. When I told them I wouldn't be giving them a cent, they turned vicious. They threatened to ruin me, claiming they'd contest the will in court, and now they're doing just that, suing me after all my father sacrificed for them. Anyways, do you think I was right to cut off my family after everything they put my dad and me through? Or was I wrong for not giving them a share of the inheritance? After all, they say family is family, but does that mean they deserve my dad's hard-earned money? Comment down below what you think, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.